That's gonna be. It has to be like a ton of aggression. I don't think that any of the players is just gonna go for 1TC fast castle age.
No, that was the ways of the old days, but I think we're gonna see a lot of differences here now. Game number 1, Beasty spawning in the south side of Rocky Canyon, and he's getting the Uvu next to his town center.
That is I'm looking at the gold though, and I'm like, huh, that.
Is it worth it?
Would walk 500 miles. Yeah, that's gonna be a long walk there in order to get there. Meanwhile, on the opposite side, Magic coming in with a little bit of a better spawn. I mean, neither the stone nor the gold is immediately next to him, but like he's got a really comfortable spot there with the 2 golds, right? Like that's not bad. That's not. It could be worse. It could be much worse. But question is gonna be: is any of these players going for like Dark Age aggression? I think with the way the map spawns, you could probably both just go for like Spearman opening. Magic in order to deny any gold, to like keep Beasty potentially in Dark Age. But then again, if you keep Beasty in Dark Age, he's just gonna mass more Spearman, then he's gonna break out at one point anyways. It's a tough decision to go for. It's a tough decision to go for. I think both of these players don't have like the best spawns here. I would slightly prefer Beasties, I guess.
I think Beasties overall, when you look at some of the other things and aspects of it, I think one thing about the Mongol mirror is you have to go barracks, you have to respect your opponent. And the reason I say Beastie is the deer. He's got the extra deer behind. It's nice, safe, and secure. He can push him in if he really needs to, or he can just move a Gur out over there and be very close to his TC. And one outpost in front of that gold protects up his other side of his TC and that deer as well, and you can see he's already planning on pushing those deer in a little bit too.
Yeah, there is an upgrade that you can get already in Dark Age, I think, where your buildings are going to be a little bit faster. So don't think we're going to be seeing that, but in theory you could like get that and make it so that your TC going to have a little bit less idle time if you do decide to move it. Yeah, it's going to be superior mobility. Can make a pretty big difference. Can make a pretty big difference there. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it though, and both players opening up with their Spearman. Magic though a little bit late there with the second one. Might be that he actually just waits for the stone to come in for him in order to go for the next batch of Spearman that he queues.
Yeah, and they're actually running by each other, and this is one where Beastie spots out the TC, and he's trying to find where he wants to go to the spears, and the spears, they're going to want to go pressure the Uvu. Plain and simple. That's the greatest spot to pressure for Beastie, and obviously for Magic, he's the best location to pressure is going to be the gold vein on the other side, but Beastie's not even thinking about going over there yet. It's all about this Spearman aggression early on.
Yeah, exactly. Beastie though, he has got the Spearman superiority right now by quite a bit. If you look at it, I think maybe Magic has got a good bit of wood saved up here right now. Maybe he just goes forward with like a couple of villagers and drops an outpost next to his Uvu. Then the Uvu's safe. I think the gold is pretty much in TC range right now. So he should be fine on that front. But it doesn't look like he's going for that. Instead, I'm not 100% sure what he's going for. I think he does have to go for that outpost, though, if he wants to truly secure one or the other here.
I think it's too late for the outpost now, in my opinion.
It does feel too late.
The Spearmen are already there. The Spearmen are already outnumbered. He's about to lose a Spearman because that Khan can snipe that down if it steps up at all. And Beastie has more reinforcements coming. He's actually choosing to burn the barracks, I guess. To each his
barracks
own.
Is an odd choice because you can just like pack it up and move it back.
But even still, the biggest thing is that first Spearman is fully killed. No extra pokes coming in. It's 6 versus 5, and the Khan is helping Beastie just slowly annoy Magic on down, and Torch is coming out too. The 7th Spearman arrives.
Magic behind, though, is going to be able to age up relatively soon here. One more drop-off, then he's going to be able to age up. I think Magic just needs to stop making Spearman. Just accept the fate that your Uvu is very likely going to go down. Just be happy that Beastie is getting the barracks first, or trying to get the barracks first. And then just go for archers.
Oh, this is not going well at all, because he's just been delaying this age up now, and Beastie's is going to be so much more equivalent. And he's going to have the damage down. I feel like this game's going to be over sooner than later.
A little bit of idle time there as he puts the villagers inside the TC. He's got so much gold right now. I think... Oh, no. He probably just... I think he messed up on this macro now. he messed up on his macro. Look at how many resources does he have in his bank right now? Well, is he going straight to Castle Age after that? That hurts. That hurts. He cannot go for that. What is he doing?
I'm not sure. He had his TC rallied over to gold. I think he just now realizes he was so distracted with the Spearman micro that he wasn't able to do it, and Beasty's aging up before him with more spears and killing an Uvu.
He's only aging up with 2 villages right now, which is a little bit confusing. Now he's getting a wheelbarrow?
I mean, I feel like he might as well use the extra gold for something.
Yeah, he might. He's going for the silver tree. That is risky. That is risky. I don't think silver tree is actually the correct move. I don't think you can go for traders. I think if you're gonna go for anything, any kind of expansion, it has to be a second TC expansion.
I think gold gets denied now too. I think Magic is literally can only go on wood, and he doesn't even have an Uvu anymore to be able to double produce. Beasty is just full-fledged on his side and gonna be locked in for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't even be surprised if Beasty brings a villager up to drop an outpost.
He could. I think in the end, Magic still isn't in the worst position right now. It is awkward that he doesn't have the stone access anymore, but he just needs to go for that second TC. I think the second TC is going to be really necessary for him in this matchup, and then he can go back up to the stone.
I just feel like this feels so bad, especially going silver tree like you mentioned. The deer stones, Beasty's eco going to be that much stronger. The archery range immediately being dropped as expected, but Beasty probably does the same. If not, there's the archery range, and he's gonna be able to double produce his.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite efficient here for him. It's just a really big benefit here for Beasty. Having that TC right next to the Uvu means that he doesn't have to defend himself as much, and like with multiple golds, there's multiple spots that he can go through, and he wasn't harassed at all when he went to the gold. Now it looks like Magic actually spent all of his wood. That's gonna delay a second TC from him.
I don't. If he's gonna be producing archers, it's gonna be even harder to do second TC. He cancels the stables, and he's dropping another range on the backside.
Yeah, this does hurt quite a bit right now for Magic. He is quite far behind right now, army value and just overall efficiency, because the deer stones just makes the villagers from Beasty gather up so much more efficient, the resources here. And he's not gonna be in a position to trade at all right now. Like, there's just no trade gonna happen.
Yeah, Beasty's actually the one who finishes wheelbarrow first. He's got a Gur out on those deer that I was mentioning, so he's gonna have that boosted up food eco, getting survival techniques, and double archers on the way for him.
Yeah. And with 2 times double produce archers, look at that, immediately on 6 archers.
That's just, I mean, all of a sudden Magic's behind on archer numbers when I felt like he had the range down and was producing first.
Yeah, way first. Forward outpost being dropped by Magic, trying to secure some food here. But this is going to be really tough because Beasty now has 8 archers out and Magic is only on 7. This is brutal. Attack speed arrow also coming in right now.
Yeah. Beasty has so many spears, he's just able to push up, take this fight without all of his archers there even. Pushes the Vills back. Outpost is not going to be going up. If Outpost gets canceled too, he can end up getting bounty bonus from that. And the archers are about to arrive, and this gets so much worse for Magic now.
Yeah, one of the villagers really low HP as well. We don't see it because the health bar is hidden right now. Magic, though, looks like he is winning the archer fight here somewhat for now. But it is very tough. Spearman once again pushed forward, and that gives BC the edge here in this archer fight. First villager is going to be going down. That's the one that had low HP. Attack speed arrow now coming in for Magic as well. Is going to be able to take down the Spearman there. But all the archers are just going to focus the villagers before the outpost is going to be able to go up. Villagers are going to be going down.
Oh my gosh, literally one more tap and that outpost goes up. And in reality, Beasty gets his up first. He drew his line in the sand. And just huge trades back and forth. But overall, again, Beasty wins with this location. Could be worse though. Magic is still in this. He's still okay, but it's just getting harder and harder.
And now he's got the outpost in a forward location with the Oh no, with the Uvu as well. I'm not sure if he can just hold this location outright. Oh, Khan going down from Beasty as well, though. Spearman getting picked off. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Beasty behind us is just going to be trying to now switch into Keshix. All the Spearmen have gone down. It's going to be tough for Magic to just replenish those. Doesn't look like he's going for that quite yet. Instead, he's doubling down on the Archer production for now.
And look at the extra outpost.
Well.
He's about to just circle Magic with outposts, and then he's going to drop one probably around the other wood line in the midst of the trade.
Magic behind this. He made a single trader from the looks of it. Or is that a villager going to the corner on the top side of the map? No, that's a villager. He tries to place a market there, but Beasty already has a Spearman there. Oh, if Beasty just hits the out market once. No, don't pull attention to it. The villager isn't going to be able to take this fight. Okay, cancels the market without any bounty going over to Beasty. The villager does have wheelbarrow, so he's going to be able to outrun the Spearman at least. I mean, with the occasional charge in. Archer battle, once again happening.
There is one trader.
There is a trader, yeah. No upgrades, though, for Magic and Beasty. He does have the +1 damage upgrade. His Archers are going to be doing a lot of damage here now in comparison.
Significant amount more damage. Magic just having to run away and taking these shots in, just losing archers here and there. Doesn't have a group yet together, and 3 flanking him from behind. Beasty could just turn and try to snipe another 1 or 2.
Yeah, such a rough spot right now for Magic to be in, and now Beasty is making the Keshix, and Magic as well. Magic is going into Keshix as well. I'm surprised neither of these players have just gone for a second TC. Like, at some point, I feel like a second TC would have just been so good for them. I don't think either of the players would have been in a position to immediately punish that second TC. If you secure it with, like, at least +1 outposts. Archers once again firing here, but Magic doesn't have any of the blacksmith upgrades. Beasty at the same time, he already has all... Oh, and the ball pull.
But you're right.
And now an outpost on the market.
Double blacksmith tech's just such a big difference here. Not only that, Beasty, he's got a good amount of vision inside of Magic space. These outposts not only giving him vision, but they're giving him yam. They're giving him a lot of extra bonuses. But the Keshix arrive first for Magic. Beasty just forced to trade his archers away for the others because his military is too far.
This could still be a good pick here now for Magic. Getting a lot of the archers here from Beasty. Beasty still has a very good army lead, though. Even with taking off those out. And no food right now for Magic, as Vodka is pointing out. What is happening with the food economy?
He's got sheep under the town center.
Oh, that was idle time, though. That was idle time.
He still needs to move more over to the food. Needs a ton more. Like, Beasty's more than doubling, almost tripling his food per minute. He's going to fall in the military count by a significant margin.
Yeah, by a lot, and Beasty is also making a lot of pastures here now as well. He's in the position to be able to go out on the map, get resource. Meanwhile, Beasty has put a market up on the he's put a tower up on the market. He's going to put another one out on the second deer spawn from Magic. And with that, Magic, it's going to be, I want to say, nearly impossible for him to get back into this one. 5 Keshix out right now for Beasty, 3 more in queue. Magic only has 2, 3 out now.
Beasty diving on forward, wanted to burn that outpost, but Magic's army ready and waiting. Beasty just has to fall right on back.
There's just so many things in which Magic is behind right now. I would be flabbergasted if he is actually able to get into a position where he can take these fights again. Because Beasty has this many outposts forward as well, he's going to be spreading out the yam or a movement speed bonus. So his military is pretty much always going to be faster than Magic's. Oh, Magic might be in a position to catch off some reinforcements, though.
Tried to catch off some reinforcements, but Beasty still kind of ready and waiting. 10 extra units, going to be able to split some off, going to be able to try to start doing some raiding. But more importantly, he has Magic fully, like, choked out right now. Outposts around his whole base, and he's dropping siege engineering, maybe even advanced siege engineering to prep for later.
Yeah. This hurts. This just really hurts right now, and the sofa mass is just like rising. Now Magic actually able to take down this one outpost here. Beasty gets himself into a position with his military where he can't really deny anything, get anything done right now, unless he wants to dive onto the deer here. But there's no villagers there gathering. Oh, that could have been a double produce Keshik there. Does have the stone for it. Next Keshik is going to be double produced.
Yep, Keshik's trying to dive forward. Magic thinking he can take the fight. Has a good archer mass, but Beasty, the key thing he has is the Keshik number.
Yeah, but now Beasty is going for a ram. The ram is a big investment, and this could give Magic what he needs in order to take a good fight here. He does have a good amount of archers. He did get the upgrades on the archers as well. Question is if he's going to be able to like win this next fight. A couple of traders also making their way around.
Here we go, Ram going forward. Keshik's already ready there, diving half health, immediately takes it down to a quarter, and Beasty did not have his army in position there, but dives in with his Keshik mass, taking the fight now. Spear's kind of helping clean up those Keshiks, not getting microed down by Magic, and Beasty should be able to clean this one up pretty well.
Archer numbers now behind from Magic. Keshik numbers even, but the archers are falling. There is still the outpost there shooting, but the outpost is shooting onto the Keshiks, not doing too much damage there. Not sufficient damage at the least. Keshik's firing upon the Khan, killing the Khan, and now getting the ram down. I would want to say, but the pathing says no to that. And now army is just further pushing into Magic's economy, or rather into the production.
Yep, Ram can deny the Uvu, can just regroup, remass back up. Beasty can bring in, already has another Vill forward, building an outpost right there, ready and waiting. More importantly, providing his army the Yam network, giving him the movement speed he wants to close down and kill extra units.
Yeah, with the Yammer, it's just going to be so difficult for Magic to really take any fights willingly here. And look at that, Archer's going to always be able to like follow or run away. And with that, Beasty can just decide which fights he wants to take and which ones he doesn't want to take. Yeah. Keshiks arrive just as they spawn, but there's just too many units from Beasty right now. And with that, Magic is not going to be able to win this one.
No, Keshik number starting to fall. No way that Keshik number can start climbing. And how can you defeat your opponent right now with the Beasty's composition? He's got 20 archers. He's got almost double-digit Keshiks, and Rams headed towards the base. Might just kind of remass back up and drop another Ram.
Yeah, and behind that, Magic is completely surrounded by outposts.
Can't really go onto that second wood line. Yeah. Next trader gets taken out, gets chased down by some Keshiks. Again, vision from the outpost makes that easy.
Yeah. Ram. Did Beasty repair the Ram, or is it still at like 1 HP right now? I'm wondering. He did have a villager forward, so he might have been in position to repair it. It's not repaired, 6 HP, so 6 archer shots are going to be able to take that Ram down. Or a single Keshik charge.
There's the Keshik charge. Bye-bye to the Ram. Magic trying to move out to the north side, it looks like, trying to go for that other Uvu spot. But there's already an outpost there that, again, gave Beasty the knowledge to move forward. Burning down an archery range, denying gold. This is not looking good for Magic. Kind of has it for quite a little bit this game.
Yeah, Beasty's just sitting on the production right now from Magic, which hurts a lot. Khan also about to get taken down here by the archers. Magic trying to kite here, but there's just so many Sipari right now. It feels kind of pointless to kite if there's just so many. You just gotta run at that point.
Yeah, and it feels so bad when you run too. They're chasing down, they're healing up. Keshiks get that extra ability to do so. An additional stables gets dropped for Magic. He's trying to equalize a number, rebuilt the Uvu, but Beasty is just keeping up the aggression.
Yeah, just non-stop aggression. Income also looking just so much better right now for Beasty than it is for Magic. Magic might be able to get a couple of picks there as the units build the Ram, but Beasty reacts in time.
Magic moving heavy out onto the gold. I feel like he just doesn't have any other resources to go to at this point. Woodline's super thin.
Yeah, Woodline's pretty much gone right now. Tries to remass Keshiks, but it's just, it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough. Villagers here have to evacuate now from the gold mine. At least he's able to like pull the buildings back. That's like the one saving grace that he has going here for himself right now. But the economy, that's just so many idle villagers. 35 idle villagers right now for Magic.
Oof. Archery range gets burnt, provides that good old bounty bonus over to the Mongols. He's not packing any of them up. He can't right now. He needs the production. He wants to try to equalize the numbers. Only down 10, but that's just 10 on the numbers. There's so many Keshiks. 17 Keshiks out for Beasty. There is no way you can hold this.
Yeah, no way indeed. Almost similar archer numbers on top of that. And we see the army value. It's just double the army value right now for Beasty than what Magic has on the field. Destruction value also leading here for Beasty, and with that, it's going to be game number 1, going the way of the Beast.
Game number 1 indeed. Mirror matchup on the Mongols, and Beasty shows why it's one of his favorite civs out there. Maybe not his number 1 because that belongs to the HRE, but good game number 1 showing.
Yeah. I mean, I think BC said recently that his favorite civ right now actually is the Malian, so he won't get to play that one in this set here, though.
Yeah, Mali, that's another civ. I still remember when he picked only Mali for a whole final series, and showed why it was one of the strongest then, and still one of the strongest now.
Yeah, Mali, good civ, indeed, right now. We saw it in a couple of games today that Malian's just in a really good spot, really good spot. So yeah.
Magic, a couple of those Vill losses early just kind of proved to be a economy boost for Beasty over the course of time. Beasty was able to keep the pressure up from the early Spearman victory, and it just kind of felt like that little bit of a miss macro play early for Magic really cost him the snowballing effect of the game.
Yeah, exactly. That, like the early couple of mistakes here and there, and also a little bit of the spawn, all of these things just kind of added onto each other, and yeah, it meant that Magic just fell further and further behind. But here we're going to be seeing our next game of the set. It's going to be Beasty IamMagic, and this time Holy Island HRE versus Chinese. All right. So this time we don't have to be afraid of those filthy Longbowmen sniping villagers from the Chinese Empire from like 2 miles away. This time it's going to be just cut and dry water aggression, maybe the couple of men-at-arms and then some horsemen trying to raid.
Yeah, I've seen some men-at-arms have some timing attacks that just prove to be too devastating to deal with, but we talked about somewhat this matchup earlier, not a ton. Just kind of we talked about more of the Chinese side, but the Prelate having that start for the HRE is such a huge benefit, just such a huge boost for that early ability to produce the fishing ships and start kind of getting that level going.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, though, HRE really strong economy early on with that Prelate. They can just early on drop another dock on the water, and then they just produce a lot of fishing ships. 2 docks still produce faster than 1 Chinese dock, so that is a metric that you can always go by.
That is always the case. Same thing goes for 2 TCs produce faster than Song, although I don't think we'll be seeing a second TC coming out from the HRE unless he's already losing water, and that usually means he's losing the game.
Yeah.
But
all right.
The big thing I'm wondering and wanting to see is it matters a little less without the English play, but the way the Holy Island spawn goes. You talked about you can get the really big back wood line, or you can have that forward wood line like we saw earlier that was a little bit of a devastating effect.
Yeah, if you have like these forward wood lines, it can be really difficult to react to like the early aggression coming out from your opponent. And yeah, especially against a civilization like English, it's difficult, but no English here this time. And if we get the wood lines in the back, it's also a little bit better for the HRE, just because you get so much more wood inside the range of your Archon Chapel, usually.
Yeah, typically you'll just see them drop that chapel next to that wood line, because that's really all they're focusing up on main early in the game. You want as much wood income expired as long as possible, and you'll even see a lot of times where they drop that lumber camp on the edge once the wood line starts getting thin, and people are like, why aren't they refreshing the lumber camps? It's like, well, they want to make sure to keep that chapel bonus going in.
Yeah, I mean, the chapel bone is always really, really important. So having that up for as long as possible, it's going to be very, very nice. Later on, you might just have to add a couple of additional prelates in order to keep up that inspiration bonus on all of your resources. So yeah, that's there are a lot of bonuses there, right? China tend to have a little bit of an easier time there with the bonuses. They just gotta make sure that their lumber camp is going to be inspired, and with that, they're always going to be getting 20% more wood from their wood lines. Also, it is a little bit difficult, I would say, for the HRE. Like, they go through their wood lines so fast, right? So,
Oh yeah.
need to always be wary of that.
Yeah, I feel like HRE, you'll just like look back and you've chopped it all the way through like half your wood line already. Need to expand, need to refresh a ton of these lumber camps. But we'll see about these spawns in a second. We'll see about how these openings are going to end up looking and who might just get the upper leg in this game number 2 with Beasty versus IamMagic.
Yeah. Game number 2 about to start. Initiating our overlay now.
Oh, we got the cat in the Chinese civilization spawn, but here we go. Game number 2, IamMagic on the Chinese in the north, and Beasty on his HRE in the south.
There we go, villagers going out towards the shoreline, trying to get their dock up as soon as possible. Scouts out and about collecting all the sheep. There's a really large amount of sheep on this map, which you can make use of should you fall behind on water to try and get a ream boom going on land. So that can always be super helpful in case that you get into that position. Now, early game, just gonna be standard kind of play here for both players.
Yeah.
Trying to get their first couple fishing ships out.
Yeah, docks are finishing up. Chinese docks already finished for sure, just because of their build speed and whatnot. Those are those sheep coming on in, and those fishing boats are in queue now. So we're going to end up kind of seeing in a couple minutes just a big fishing boom and those feudal ages coming out. Where it's not anything close to like the Rus feudal age timings that you can get when you share a pond and have these crazy, you know, early ability to immediately deny your opponent's investment, but you're still going to see a lot of that kind of timing attack with your first ship.
Yeah, there's a good reason why Rus are usually banned in this tournament. It's just a really strong civilization at the moment here. And especially on water, Rus just very, very strong. There's still ways that you can beat them. But yeah, it's just a really strong civilization in like most of the maps. So makes sense that so far I think it's been banned pretty much every single set that we've seen so far.
Yeah, I think I want to say we casted one game of it the first day, but I could be mistaken there. Other than that, though, we've already starting to see the lumber camps being dropped, the straggler trees being chopped through, and that chapel location for Beasty is nice because you mainly just, if you have the gold mine in range of the wood line, you're always excited because a lot of times that isn't the case. But Beasty's gonna have a lovely chapel location for himself.
Yeah, also gonna be able to put the sheep right there as well. So very good location here for him. And it is one of those spawns where the wood lines are just going to be really nice. Looking at the wood lines, like in the middle of the map, there's this really interesting wood line there for Magic, which like has a little hole in it as well.
Yeah, you know, chop through, drop an outpost. No. But kind of just seeing this early game go in, it doesn't really surprise me. BC's up like half a ship, like a little bit, but Magic will easily be able to kind of even this out in a bit. I feel like China start to get online once they start to get their Imperial Official working for them, their Imperial Official up and running as well. And look at the annoyance by Magic trying to hit this villager enough to make him walk on home, which actually does mess up the macro a little bit because you like that one vill on that shoreline fish.
Yeah, so BC is going to have to pull his scout now as well in order to deal with that. Because you do want to build a second dock here at some point with that villager, means that Magic isn't going to have to run him all the way back and then forward again. So there we go. Second dock is now going to be built up by Beasty there on the shoreline. Yeah, as you said, right now Magic is behind a little bit when it comes to the overall fishing ship numbers, and Beasty actually still has a couple of villagers from the looks of it on sheep. Means that his age up timing is going to be quite nice here, actually.
Yeah, very,
And
very
he's ahead
quick.
of fishing ships.
Yeah, the one benefit though is like I feel like this happens with Chinese sometimes. Like they'll be behind a little bit as far as their timings go. Like, oh look, Chapel's being dropped now, exactly where we expected. But Magic can end up building his so much faster. He's dropping the second dock himself, the safer one back in the corner, and both these players just same game plan going on in.
Yep, so far no big differences here. Still, though, I think the lack of fishing ships here right now for Magic is a little bit concerning. Just being behind that tiny bit right now can make a difference. Though right now it actually looks equal. Right now it actually looks equal. Now with the second dock, it's got to stay that way.
Yeah, able to just get those out a little bit quicker. Question is will we see like a double broad axe invested into right when the age up happens from Magic, just based off the resource count?
It would make sense to go for it, right? Like double broad axe costs 150 resources. And with the tax, you get like 64 gold back if it's in range of the Imperial Academy. So you get a lot of resource back. Definitely makes sense to invest into that. Just the timing is going to be odd, and you need to make sure that you'll have a second Imperial official out there as soon, just to be like efficient with your tax drop-off.
And just how Magic was annoying that villager, Beasty does the same thing, and Magic goes back because the scout of Beasty's is on his, and both players now forced to pull that villager back, but can easily replace it when need be.
Yeah, and it looks like Beasty already has a barracks up, and he is making men-at-arms now, so he's immediately just going to put a little bit of pressure on Magic straight off the bat here with a couple of men-at-arms.
Yeah, I will say the benefit for Magic is the Chinese town centers will do a little bit of extra damage if they step into range, but any idle time, any annoyance just does so much. Will have a decent bit of timing to be able to react to that if he spots it out, but needs that timing and needs that knowledge.
Yeah. No ship yet in queue from Magic. Should hopefully get one in queue soon. Beastie already having both kinds of ships in queue for himself. Men-at-arm already halfway across the map. Is Magic actually just going to go for like the fast song dynasty strategy here? He only needs a little bit more food.
Yeah, he is. He's moving out onto his gold now with villagers. Oh, he has an outpost, dude. He's just going to build it on his woodline.
He's going for both. Okay, going to go for both here from the looks of it. But he has to make something happen on water then soon, because the ships are on their way. The archer ship already is on its way. He's making his own archer ships now to respond.
Archer and a
demo ship. Guess he just didn't have the food in order to go for, or the gold. Nah, just the food. Just the food to go for the Springle ship. Is gonna need one soon though.
Yeah, the hard part there is that the food's getting idled right now, but he can do a forced drop-off, probably get one into queue with how much food that those fishing boats hold.
Yeah, has to be careful though. First fishing ship might be going down there if he's not too careful. Also a little bit of idle time being forced there with those men-at-arms. Shouldn't be too big though, because you do still have the tax as the Chinese, and especially double tax with that Imperial Academy. You should still have enough gold in order to get some Springle ships out, and their first one is in queue now.
Significant amount of damage went down on that archer ship, but Beastie has a Springle ship out already. Magic needs to pull that. Oh, 2 Springle ships out. Magic does already have that demo, so that at least a little bit of a benefit for him, and he has 2 Springle ships in queue as well. So pretty even overall so far from what we're seeing. Magic though, he will have that Song Dynasty bonus start to build up for him, and that is one benefit that he has over Beastie.
Yeah, and the galley pulled all the way back here now from Beastie, so in theory, that demo ship could actually get some huge value in. That one ship is already low enough to be completely one-shot by the demo, and now he activates the ability, the speed boost on those ships to try and get out of range from those demos now.
Yeah, had to get out of dodge quite quickly. Still has a few of those men-at-arms constantly pressuring that gold, constantly just being annoying there. And Beastie dropping another dock, a third dock further forward, a fourth dock, sorry, further forward, that will allow him to keel up some units and kind of get that extra positioning point forward, faster reinforcements as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of production. And now it looks like Magic also put out a couple of Shuganu here, just to have him constantly in the outpost. Or at least he can put them constantly in the outpost in order to not idle any of the villagers and also just be annoying to those men-at-arms. Village here under fire. But Shuganu should be able to harass the men-at-arms enough in order to stop that from happening. But the damage is very low right now.
Very low. They usually, like, it's funny, like, one, it seems like they do nothing. And then all of a sudden 10, 20, 30, 40 are there, and 40 are killing TCs.
Yeah, it can ramp up quite a bit, and now it looks like on both sides, both on water and on land, Beasty is starting to push ahead. Magic, though, has enough sprinkle chips here in order to be fine.
Yeah, I think Magic should be able to defend this next boat attack again from Beasty. He's got 6 sprinkle chips out, and he's got the numbers here. He could just actually take this fight, and he wants to take this fight even, looking at Beasty's land or his sea mass. But can't forget that Beasty has been dropping more and more docks, continuing to push up further forward, so he's going to easily be able to match those numbers quickly.
Yeah, I have to be careful with that, and more men-at-arms are going to make their way over to the other side of the map. Also, defense upgrade is coming in at the same time that the damage upgrade is coming. Junk getting sniped immediately. BC also has just a couple of men-at-arms between the shoreline and the base from Magic to make sure that Magic isn't in a position to drop any more docks right now.
Yeah, it's such a nice ability to be able to deny any extra docks. You know that you're always going to be able to get ahead. It's like having that one extra archery range. You know you're going to have extra archers than your opponent, but it's not going to allow any docks to be dropped, and Beasty is starting to climb ahead further and further on the sea now.
Yeah, 4 additional sprinkle ships in the queue right now for Beasty. Demo ship, but it's gonna get sniped here by the archer ships. She's gonna get some big jukes there, dodging the arrow ship there. And now Magic pushing forward might want to snipe the arrow ships, but holds back and actually loses the sprinkle ship.
It looked cool. It didn't actually end up turning out to be as good as it should have been. And now Beasty, the men-at-arms number is enough that he says, all right, I'm trading, I'm diving some eco, I'm idling this out at the same time because I just won a big fight on the sea. And once he regroups here, he heals up these ships. It's gonna, his water's over. Magic's water's over.
Yeah, that's a big mess of sprinkle ships. Holy. And now Beasty's making a ton of demo ships behind this. Yeah, water is over. Water is officially over here. And look at that. Magic, he didn't get any upgrades on land. Like, he's getting wheelbarrow now, but he doesn't have double broadaxe, and that's like one of the main upgrades that you want, especially as China, because it also gives you more tax as your villagers chop the wood faster.
Very, very unfortunate oversight there. Looks like he's trying to get a Castle Age timing of Beasty. He's not too far away from a Castle Age himself.
Yeah, this could be a very, very risky all-in, and he's moving forward with a couple of the Jugunu here that he has. He does still have a good lead in the eco department, overall in the eco numbers. Not so much in the income, due to the inspiration. And now he's going up to next age, but at the same time, Beasty is pushing in with a big army on water. Yeah,
you can just say goodbye to Magic's land or his sea economy. It's going to be all about his land transition now. It's all he can rely on because Beasty, 14 sprinkled ships on his side. Oh my gosh! Demo!
He blocked it with the fishing ships. But yeah, that's all the fishing ships goodbye.
Still 3 more reinforcements coming in as far as demos go. They're starting to get sniped out. Great job by Magic, but docks are starting to be denied. BC still pushing up, still taking beneficial trades. And IamMagic hits castle.
Yeah, BC still doesn't have the gold that he needs in order to get up to the Castle Age. Wondering what unit Magic is going to try and make here. Looks like he's upgrading his Shuganu numbers right now.
Another demo ship pops out.
Gets a good connection there.
Another couple reinforcing demos come in for Beasty. And there's a secret demo hiding in between some fishing ships as well for Magic. He's trying to get some better shots with those demos. Just each one takes out a sprinkled ship.
I mean, it's not the worst trades. Looks like Magic is now also transitioning into Palace Guards. Not a big fan of the Palace Guards here. Not against the HRE, which already get like the early men-at-arms. He's actually able to stall out water for now.
Yeah, somehow he held water. The big problem there is how much eco he gave up to hold that water. He's down 10. He's got other idled villagers at home, and the Regnant's Cathedral is on its way up before the military arrives for Magic.
Yeah, that is quite tough right now. Magic, he did have to send villagers over to the sheep there. Doesn't have a lot of fishing ships left there. And now the horseman count also should be enough in order to clean up all of these Jugunu, even in Feudal Age against Castle Age.
Yep, able to just get the surround, get it to where those horsemen are getting all of their attacks in. Bye-bye to the Chuk mass sets forward, and now Regnant's Cathedral finishes, and Beasty has a free route to pick up all of these relics. And there's not only 5 on this map, there's a 6th one out on the island if he wants to get it too.
Yeah, lots of relics ripe for the pickings here. And what's Magic's game plan behind this? He has a lot of gold, he has a lot of wood in the bank. Nothing that he can really do with that right now. He could make a nest of bees, but he doesn't have any units to defend the siege at all right now.
I mean, that's the only thing you can use those resource combinations really for. He's struggling so hard on the food, losing all of those fishing ships when Beasty pushed. And Beasty's getting the armored hull now, so the next time Beasty pushes on the water, it's definitely over. But even still, it's like, look at the fishing boat difference. It's 5 versus like 25.
Yeah, it's a very, very big difference here. I mean, even with the Song Dynasty, Magic just isn't in a position here right now, economy-wise, to keep up with this. It's a lot of idle time also being like forced here every now and then, and now Beasty's just gonna be running in.
He's just
so many
diving the wood
villagers here
line.
have to get evacuated. Yeah, and with that, this game is confirmed over, and we're gonna be going to a match point here for Beasty in our game number 3.
Yeah, just Beasty showing us a clinic, showing us how to play the HRE, why it's one of his favorite civilizations out there, and closing the gap, why it's one of the strongest here on Holy Island as well.
Yeah, 31 eco units have gone down here so far. Relic, the very relic in the corner has actually been picked up by Magic from the looks of it, but that's probably the only relic that he's going to have access to. Magic tries to make something happen on water, but Beasty got pretty much all the upgrades on his navy as well. You can see the little shields there on his ships, means that he does have the +1 armor and more HP, and with that, GG gets called.
And there it is. It's finally over. What just clean game there by Beasty yet again.
Yeah, it was also a little bit weird. Like that's the second time we saw the really, really fast Song Dynasty play from China here on this map. I'm honestly not a big fan of that. I'm not big on that. I think like double broadaxe is just so much more important early on, because you go into Feudal Age and you already have like 20 villagers on wood. Boosting them is way more important than getting a couple more villagers out. Sure, you got like that emplacement on the outpost for free, but I don't think it's worth it. I do not think it's worth it.
I feel like it's
Those
almost
resources could have been ships earlier just to put pressure on BC on water.
right, and I feel like it's like almost like hoping your opponent makes a mistake rather than like letting yourself be in control of the game. And like you don't want to, like, against people like me, that's fine. I'm gonna make the mistakes. Against people like Beasty, he's not gonna make the mistakes. He's gonna play the clean game and punish you for what you've done.
Yeah. Here we see military count, pips included. Magic was pretty even there, but then the Jugunu get caught out and loses a lot of his units there. I was really impressed though with how he was able to hold on there, on water actually. Lost a ton of fishing ships, but didn't lose all of his military ships.
Yeah, that was the trade. It was like a 10 fishing boat trade for military ships, which is, I mean, it's why he held in it. He had opportunities to try to come back in. It potentially could have had that castle timing push, but Beasty was already having, had the vision, had the knowledge of it, and made that transition to the horsemen and closed out the Chooks and everything. But very clean game number 2. We're waiting on the update here, and Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
I see it correctly.
this is doable. This is doable, yeah. So we got English for Beasty against Magic's HRE. Now I know Beasty loves his HRE on mountain clearing as well, and usually what he does is he just tries to go for fast Ragnets into relics and then Imperial Age behind it, and push at a timing that the English don't like. But Beasty knows how he wins this against the English when he plays HRE, so maybe he can play this a little bit differently.
Yeah, I feel like when I've seen this matchup, it like obviously it's one of those you talk about and it seems easy, but I feel like HRE has been the one that kind of comes out with the win more often than not on this map specifically. But it's one of those that if you get those longbows in a couple good positions, like we saw Dimmu get crushed by some longbows earlier on the water, it's like that's the effect that English can do to the HRE if they just be a little too greedy.
Yeah, if English get into those wood lines in the back, they can do a lot of damage there to the HRE. I feel like HRE definitely has to make something happen there. I don't think they can go completely naked. They have to invest a little bit into units and walls and outposts in order to be 100% safe in their own base and be fine to like age up behind that. Gonna be interesting to see if Magic has that down.
Yeah, I think, I think he'll probably have that balance, but it's all about that execution. If he ends up kind of playing that clean game, getting control of the game, not letting it, be all in your opponent's hands and whatnot. And, other than that, I'm kind of surprised that he decided to pick mountain clearing, his opponent's home map, as the potential game decider or set decider.
Yeah, I mean, this is now match point for Beasty, and it is Magic's map that he picked, right? Like, Magic is the one that picked this map, so maybe he has a plan here. He does have HRE open after all, so could be that he planned for that. That he does have a good build for that in mind, and he thinks maybe with HRE, if clearly if he goes mountain clearing, Beasty's only civilization that he really has left for that map is going to be English. Maybe he knows how to play the matchup.
Yeah, I get it. Well, we still got a little bit of a time till game on, and in the meantime, if anyone wants to throw some support out, we are getting pretty close. If you're looking at the bottom right over there, hitting I would say one of the first goals, which is obviously 1,000. Good mark to hit, not too far away, but 2501 Vegas land, big mark to hit that I've been hearing rumors been going around about.
Yeah, don't forget, if we get to 2.5k, Pesty is going to make a separate stream. Actually, no, it's going to be on the day of the finals. Pesty's going to make a separate stream, and he's going to walk us through the entire patch note list for the expansion before it is announced.
Yeah, he actually has the list, and it's already ready. It's like it's one of these automatic things that's gonna post. He has the video. It's ready to go once that 2,500 mark gets hit, and he'll be ready to jump on in.
Yeah, but we're only getting it if we actually make it to the 2.5k. So, if not, then all of you will have to wait a couple more weeks. So you got the choice, really. It's the community's choice if they want to know, if the interest is there. So they can gift a couple more subs here to the channel.
Yeah, gift some subs, donate, whatever it may end up being, cheering it along. We've seen some bits get thrown around in there, but I'm sure I'd love to know about some of the stuff here for AoE 4's future, but it's all up to the fans.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, there's a ton. I'm just gonna say there's a ton. Like what we've seen here so far from devs, what they've shown. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Chris himself said it to me while I was at Gamescom. He said to me, it is going to be everything Age of Empires 4 players have been asking for. And from the looks of it, Chris is a man of his word. Gotta say.
Well, prediction just gets posted. Go ahead and bet those points. I see a ton of points going on over to Beasty already, but you got to even up those scales a little bit. Appreciate the sub coming in, Sponge, and in not too long we'll be getting into some action. This is our third series of the day that we're casting. It is an exciting one, but we got another even more exciting, same exciting, however you want to put it. I mean, I'm hyped for it because, as Crackedy was telling me the other day, Marine Lord and Puppy Paw had a little bit of some practice games together, and I heard it was a little bit of a wax in there. Puppy Paw making it look a little easy.
Yeah, Marine Lord got absolutely rinsed in their practice match. Puppy Paw against Marine Lord, and boy, Puppy Paw really showed him the ropes in that one. So it's gonna be an interesting to set to like see if Marine Lord can get some revenge in the actual tournament there.
Yeah, exactly. And now we see some subs coming in. Appreciate your Roland, Style, everyone else who's been supporting the bits from Conk, and just keep them coming, keep the support. It all just goes directly back to the players, back to all the behind the scenes action. And we have hit the 1,000.
Exactly, 1,000. That's the first big step. Don't forget, 2.5K. That's where the big stuff happens. That's where the big reveals are going to be coming live on EGC. No kappa, no cap, 100% confirmed.
Yeah.
It's not like we're just making this up. No, it's 100%, 100%, right? Like,
yeah, 100, 110% even. You can just keep throwing the higher numbers out, But in not too long, we'll actually be jumping into the game. We'll be into that English HRE matchup that we're talking about. It plays, every single civilization matchup plays different on Mountain Clearing. It's a different just style map in general. I feel like it's one of those that players a lot of times don't like to play it, but viewers like to watch and see how it plays out.
It feels really weird. Like Mountain Clearing is just this kind of bathtub, like a really small bathtub, and two adult men have to share a really small bathtub with each other, but there's only one rubber ducky, and both players in the middle have to like fight for the rubber ducky.
All right,
so
all right.
It's a little bit weird.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit weird, especially when we start talking about two grown men in a bathtub with a rubber ducky. But that is kind of the way that is the way the Mountain Clearing plays out. Sometimes you are not wrong with that.
Mountain Clearing is just as weird as that one. So yeah.
Oh, well, here we go. Transition into game number 3. Potential game decider over here. Beasty in the north on the English, and Magic in the south on the HRE.
And look at that. Beasty already went out early on, went to the middle, got the boar. There's not a whole ton that you can really do about the English when they go for the middle. They got the short bows on their villagers, so it's not like you can send your own villagers or even spearmen in order to really deny that. In theory, like a man-at-arm probably could, but do you want to make that investment? Maybe. Not today, though.
Well,
villager gets swapped out, the one with low HP.
The problem is you'd have to make the men-at-arms in feudal age, and by then the middle boar is more than paid off, I feel like, and so Beasty would easily be able to react on over to that men-at-arm as well, probably having longbows popping out too.
Could be. So far, normal play from both players here. Beasty with the middle boar, and both players just aiming for their own respective feudal age timings here. Magic as the HRE trying to lure the deer under his TC. Beasty was a little bit annoying, trying to kill 1 or 2 deer outside of the TC range. Got him as well.
Yeah, you kind of always see that. That's the early game, the early game micro you see on this map. It's all about who gets the most efficient deer gathering, since you have that deer spawn close to your base, and obviously if you pick English, you get the boar. You get it better.
Yeah, 100%. Now Beasty also luring in his own deer under his TC, just trying to be as efficient as possible. Deer have been lured here by Magic. And with that, last couple remaining sheep are also being gathered up. This is the bad. Wait, he's getting a lot of. Huh?
Oh, they're just chopping some wood to prep. They're gonna be the ones to build the. I was confused too.
No, one more tile. Magic, one more tile. Give it one more. No, Magic, one more tile. He's missing a tile. He's not gonna be able to fit farms between. Magic, why? I hate Magic sometimes.
Clip it and ship it. Send it over to Magic. That is a triggering thing to see, though, when it's just, the little bit off. It's just that half tile off, and you're just like, come on.
Like, if it was about the deer being all of them, like, in range, just build it at least right next to TC. But, like, don't waste the tile, man. Like.
I mean, I guess he's still, God, it's still like you can mine out the stone and that tile on the other side wouldn't have mattered the greatest. But, you know, whatever. We'll get past that. Beasty's still doing the deer luring like we talked about. That is the early game of this map. But Chapel finishes at a very clean 340 timing. And the council hall not too far away with that boar opening obviously does it. It seems like you might delay yourself, but the boar's so close on this map, he doesn't really have to invest anything else, and it gives him just still a very nice timing, and he's still on that boar.
Yeah. Question is, what is his next game plan going to be? He has a lot of villagers over on wood. Could it potentially be a second TC with the HRE? That's not something that we usually see. No, it is a stable early on here. Beasty immediately spots that. So he does know what's going to be coming. Couple of longbowmen get queued either way, though.
Yeah,
it's not afraid of no horseman.
Yeah, it's, you know, that 1 or 2 horsemen, you can't really do anything with it. Like, what? Yeah, he's gonna go try to pressure the boar, but 1 horseman just gets turned by all the short bows and the 2 long bows and takes too much damage to deal with. Yeah, it delays up your making 2 longbowmen, now 4 longbowmen, delays up if you need a barracks and you dropping a barracks, but he's going to be having double broadaxe come in. He's going to be able to get that down in just a little bit if needed.
Wait, what are those villagers doing on the stone mine? Huh? They're just walking around it. Okay, now he fixed it. Those villagers legitimately just did like 3 rounds around the stone mine.
Pathing. No problems with pathing.
That was really weird. That was really weird there.
Paling set up.
Being built. Yeah, so middle, definitely not something that Magic could attack right now. But behind that, I mean, Magic, he is getting outposts. He's getting the emplacements on the outposts as well, very likely. And now he's also making his own archers.
Yes, they used to be rare seen archers, but now we see them quite a bit more often for the HRE. That 1 horseman, again, like 1 horseman against English villagers doesn't do too much, especially when you have,
Yeah, also the bells are going to ring, so he knows that, something's up there. Now forward outpost going to be going down as well. That could have been nice, Sonai.
Yeah, that forward outpost does so much more for the English than it does for other civs. Most importantly, it's just the network of castles bonus.
Yeah. Magic thought about the blacksmith, deleted it again. Now I think he's building it again.
I mean, he's starting to
too many units out on the field right now, but he's massing more.
Yeah, it's one of those that, like, if you have horsemen archers versus longbows, you will end up winning. Like, plain and simple. Like, you will end up winning, even with all the craziness, just because your horsemen, although they suck at times, they'll be able to tank up a good amount of shots and a lot more shots than the longbows, and your archers will be able to close the gap with their move speed.
Yeah, in theory, the horsemen only need 4 attacks on a longbow in order to kill it. Issue is that getting those 4 attacks in, I mean, horseman is probably the unit that suffers from melee brain the most when it comes to pathing.
Yeah, the horseman, if you had seen the horseman around that stone mine earlier, it would have been 5 circles instead of 3.
And now Beasty is trying to catch off the units here from Magic. Magic splitting his army a little bit. Horsemen to one side in order to make Beasty chase them. But is that something that he does want to have chased, though? Oh no, the horsemen are gonna go down from the looks of it.
Oof, just 2 shots is all it takes from that longbow mass now. Magic is not having enough numbers out yet. I think he did. Yeah, he's on 2 range and 1 stable, so it's still not constantly producing. So Beasty is just going to have these numbers consistently.
Yeah, consistently having a really large army here, and Magic just not able to keep up with the horseman production. It's just Beasty making so many longbows right now, and it's working. It's really working. And wait, this is the one side that Magic doesn't have an outpost on, isn't it?
Oh no, it is. He immediately loses another 2 archers. Doesn't seem like much, but that's like 15% of his military mass.
Yeah, just went down just like that.
And now that the range is further on out, it makes it that much easier to just continue to pressure this range. Outpost trying to be fast built on that side of the wood line to protect itself, but I mean, oof. Still didn't end up working out the greatest. That's a lot of investment that Magic's had to put into outposts now that are just static defenses.
Yeah. And just like that, I mean, it's going to be really, really rough for him now to really get back from this position. Usually you don't want to be the player that's behind when you're playing against the English when it comes to the military.
And Beasty's playing the all I need to make is longbows game, and it's working so far.
Yeah, working quite well for him here now. With that, I mean, right now, it feels like Magic needs to mass so many more units, and he has no vision here. These units are going to get caught off guard again. And there's the aura as well on him.
Oof, just 1 or 2 more units just popping out, playing a really clean game. And Beasty, he's already prepping to end this game. Look at what's coming in. Siege engineering.
Yeah, I mean, look at the destruction value here. Magic has just lost so much here every single time these units walk up. And another interesting thing is, in the mass of longbows here, when the longbows are firing, the longbows in the back are pushing the other longbows that are firing forward. So even though the longbows have less movement speed, they actually are able to keep up with the units for quite a while. More archer range is getting dropped now here by Magic. Feels like he really, really needs a ton of archers right now. But the ramp's already there.
And he's going to start running out of... I mean, he still has a couple sheep left, but we'll start running out of these closer food locations. And even still, it's... feels like it's already too late. The second ram is coming down. The outpost, yeah, it's doing its job for now, but longbows just stop building the ram for a second and get some extra damage down.
First hit coming in. Yeah, the outpost with 5 units inside isn't going to be able to kill the longbows quick enough, then the longbows are able to kill the horsemen. Emergency repair coming in, another horseman going down here.
And Beasty just transitions over to the blacksmith after emergency repair utilized on that outpost. The first ram very, very low health, and Beasty just kind of just chilling back, just slow pushing this, and I think he does need, against HRE, I feel like you really do need that second ram working, or else you don't really make much progress with emergency repairs.
Yeah. At the same time, also, like, now he has the aura, the longbows are going to be attacking much faster, and that's a fight that Magic doesn't want to take, has to back off right now.
Yeah, and he's slowly been losing more and more of these horsemen, so, you know, there's still some in the outpost, but the ones that try to attack the ram, basically you just get two-shotted over and over.
Magic is messing a good enough archers now behind all of this. He's almost caught up to the longbowman mass, but you need more units. You need more units than your opponent has.
Yeah,
and the food
when he's in network range.
Yeah.
Second ram finally being dropped again. Beasty's halfway to castle as well through this feudal age push.
Yeah, he hasn't had to produce any units now for quite a while. That's just because he killed like so many units here from Magic without really losing any of his own.
Just pushing in under this outpost fire, knows that he kind of can just take this as for now. Snipes down a villager, horseman dives the first ram, and Beasty pulls back the low health one. Beasty's regrouping after emergency repair used again.
Yeah. There's also a bug right now with the palings where they stay even though the longbowmen aren't there. So these palings are actually active.
That's good.
That's not so good for Magic right now.
It was sarcastic.
He doesn't have too many. Yeah, he doesn't have too many horsemen right there anyways, but a couple of archers have to retreat. Now Magic has his own ram that he can use against the forward outpost here. Has a really good mass of archers now, but Beasty just about to click up to the next stage.
Second ram, or ram coming out for Magic, but those 2 rams are just tearing down the eco without emergency repairs. Longbow's trying to kite on back. Magic has the numbers, 7 more archers in queue. He's taking this fight, and once those longbows lose their bonus, then it's just that much easier for Magic, that much better of a fight for him. But look at what Beasty has behind the King's Palace on the way with 12 villagers.
Yeah, King's Palace getting up behind that, and that is just so crucial here right now for Beasty to get up. And it means that Magic is not only going to be behind military, I mean, tech-wise, he did manage to finally clear up here the military. But it just feels so despairing right now for him because there's nothing really that he can do behind that. Look at that triple barracks set up behind it. We're going to be saying armor-clad men-at-arms here very soon.
Yeah, he's just immediately going to make that quick transition, start pushing through the middle, and how is IamMagic going to hold this push? He's got the ranges if he gets up to Castle Age, but he's about a mile away from Castle Age.
Yeah, it's going to take quite a bit here for him to get there. Doesn't have any gold right now in the bank, pretty much no food as well, has to make farms now to transition. And the men-at-arms, in theory, can just run into TC and idle.
Oh yeah, and first we're gonna see how strong they're gonna. Well, he's getting eco techs as the first prio. Okay, still getting the second bit of ranged armor as well. So we're gonna see how little these archers are about to start doing to these men at arms, and still has 2 TCs to jump inside of.
Yeah, and also the thing is because Beasty went to the boar in the middle, he still has a bunch of sheep left under his TC that he could go for.
And so, like, what's the number that Beasty's going to start moving out with? You think it's like 7 men-at-arms? Or just the 1 second armor upgrade comes in, whatever number that's with?
I think once the second armor upgrade comes in, he definitely has enough. He's only going to take 1 damage from the archers anyways, once that happens. It looks like he's also going to try and go for the relics here. Doesn't have enough gold yet for the monk. There we go. Now he does have it. The archers can't really do a ton here right now, it feels like. Maybe they can get some idle time on the gold, but, like, BC sees this.
Yeah, really, really quick reaction timing. Vill's pulled back, immediately turned back to the gold. Magic's doing everything he can, though, to extend this game, stall this game. It's great that BC hasn't moved on over to his side for him. And he turns right back around, getting 2 Vill kills. With a second TC, not as effective, but, you know, still any difference he can make is crucial right now.
Yeah, Magic also working on his own H-up now behind this. He managed to clean up all the outposts that were in front of the sacred side as well as in his base. Now just trying to kite. These men-at-arms are actually not yet, don't even have the cast stage upgrade yet, which is weird.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a priority for BC after he triple dropped the barracks, but I guess he just didn't have the amount of food production to keep that pumping and swap back onto some longbows. However, it looks like with longbows coming out and with that men-at-arms mass, he's now going to have enough damage to make these trades effectively.
Yeah, right now Magic, he just cannot really fight against the men-at-arms. There's just not enough damage coming out. He's taking some fights against the longbowmen, but ultimately he will have to retreat, but is now able to go up to the next age, and it's going to be a Burgrave Palace from him, which, I mean, isn't the ideal choice here when it comes to, like, the return that you get. But I think it's going to have to be an all-in for him here.
Yeah, I think it's the necessary choice, though. I think he has to, like, right now he's trying to do everything he can. Villagers pull out their short bows, just push that archer mass back a little bit. Good farm setup has happened for Magic, but he still is going to need more food. And those men-at-arms, it's about to hit the economy at the perfect timing. Burger's going to finish. There's 260 food in the bank, and the whole entire food eco's idle. Game over.
Yeah. That is gonna hit him hard right now as the men-at-arms run in. There's still the emplacements on the outposts, which can help him a bit here since these aren't cast stage men-at-arms yet. The outposts do more damage than like your average archer, so there's more damage coming out to these men-at-arms than normal. And now he's got 2 men-at-arms out immediately as well. And these are gonna trade like equal, right? Because BC still doesn't have the cast stage upgrade, which I'm really wondering why.
I think this is just one of those little bit of accidental oversights. That being said, still a good amount of return damage. He's up 17 villagers. He's got the sacred site timer starting to tick, and I'm sure he's about to start dropping another outpost or even keep in the middle if he wants. And
he's stealing
relics. Yep. I love it. He went for the more aggressive, the further up relics rather than the 2 initial easy ones by his base.
Yeah, Magic is running after it, but he's not going to be able to pick that one up in time. Monk is just too quick on his feet right now.
Yep, running on back. There is an outpost for him to jump inside if he wants to. Yep, and there it is.
Jumps inside.
Short bows are going to pull their short bows out again. No? Maybe? Yep.
Tries to kill the crossbowman here. But yeah, villagers pull their bows as well. Yeah, Magic's gonna have to retreat, and with that, the relic is gonna actually has to jump in again.
love it. Beasty has 4 monks out. It's like you can see how big of a priority this was for him. Just as Vodka looked over, you gotta look over every single time a Wololo happens. So it makes it to where Magic isn't going to be, you know, microing during that little half-second, split second that he checks on where that is. Outpost has the Springled placement as well, and Men-at-Arms, they take a good amount of flat damage.
Yeah, and Beasty has double the food income right now than Magic does. Also went out there to the deer. Has a couple of farms going as well. Has a Sacred Side, 3 relics, 4th one is on its way. And this is definitely not a feels good moment for Magic right now.
I mean, he held. That's the feels good, but I think he knows he's in a crater as far as the deficit goes, and he's trying to find ways around it, trying to find ways back in it, but really, it's going to be tough for him here.
Yeah, he's just going to plunk down a couple more outposts there in the middle. Springle emplacement and structure emplacement as well. With that, the Sacred Side is going to be very tough for Magic to take back. Feels like you might need some siege, but it is really hard to afford it at this moment in the game. There's a ton of crossbows in there as well, military-wise. So,
and he's got the monks with him. Just give him a little bit extra boost, give him a little bit extra healing. Why not? Why not be there as a support unit? Give him the, you know, the battle religion.
Yeah, he researched herbal medicine as well, so the healing is quite a bit better as well.
Crossbow almost to stay alive through those archers on the backside. Monks moving on forward. Men-at-Arms being that tanky mass. And just look at all the healing coming through.
He's out healing the archers. Yeah. He's out healing the archers there. And it feels like with that, it's got to be GG here. He's 30 villages behind right now.
Now he's getting armor clad.
Value. Yeah, he also upgraded the Men-at-Arms now. Oh, Monk getting sniped there by the town center. Like, Beasty's just in such a good position right now. Just able to constantly spam units now with the income that he has.
Constantly, and monks are included in that, as he didn't need to get up to 6. He was at like 3 or 4, and he's been continuing to produce them, so he has a priority in this. Second outpost is getting upgraded. It's going to be so hard for Magic to take this site without siege, like you were talking about earlier. Has to invest into it, and Beasty, he's dropping more outposts. It's just no way can you do it with only infantry now.
Yeah, there is absolutely no way. Ton of crossbows there as well, and behind that, Beasty's not producing any more units, which makes me think it's just gonna be a very fast
Berkshire, yeah.
Yeah, Berkshire in the middle, and with that, I mean, there's nothing that Magic can do after that.
Yeah, I mean, Magic, he did a great job extending this game out, stalling the game out, and Beasty, he's just playing it slow, methodical, not making mistakes. Men-at-Arms, though, might be able to get a good little pickup on the west of Beasty's villagers. There we go.
Not killing too much. Wheelbarrows in for these villagers, so they should be able to outrun the Men-at-Arms. Couple do go down with the body blocking, but the majority of them make it out, and now a long wall towards the middle sacred side and Berkshire Palace coming up. 26 villagers. And with that, it's going to be a game number 3 for Beasty. Like, there's 0% chance for Magic to come back in this one. And Beasty gets a 3-0 here.
Yeah, very, very clean games that he's played today. Very, very just, you know, one of the reasons why he's one of the top, I would say top 2 of what people have been saying here recently. Him and Marine Lord, you still throw Vortex, Luciferon, you know, definitely on into the mix. But looking at today, B as well, yeah, looking at today, just a quick 3-0 series coming out from Beasty. As Magic, I think you try to counteract this, but there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I think he's just gonna look forward, see like double emplacement, Berkshire just decimating his units. Like, look at that. The units just die pretty much instantly.
Yep. He tries to circle around. The wall's not quite finished, but there's still outposts up. There's still a good amount of military units here, because Beasty easily able to reposition. Taking the fight here. There are a couple land snakes in, so that does a great amount of damage, especially if we hit those vills. And it's harder to micro when there's a ton of Men-at-Arms into the mix with those lands. However, just isn't able to do anything once they get near to Berkshire at all.
Yeah. Magic is just trying to do eco damage here, but Beasty could lose all the villagers and still win the game just off Sacred Side Timer alone.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Villagers jumping back in, headed straight to the eco. Second TC's been working for so long though. Beasty could lose 40 villagers and it'd be even. They could just pull out their short bows, help on in with this fight, but he doesn't even need it. Those battle monks are healing on up. Mangonel!
Mangonel.
Boom!
Oh no.
And I mean, if we didn't close it now, that's one of the greatest things about once he goes to Berkshire as well, is it immediately acts as a siege workshop. And Magic, he knows it's over. 3-0 victory going over to Beasty.
What a rough game here for Magic. It felt like he just lost so many units, just split off in the beginning. Like, by the time the first fight happened, he was already down 800 destruction value compared to Beasty. And yeah, when he finally started to take, like, good trades, then that's when Beasty already got up to Castle Age. And yeah, just so many things just stacking on top of each other. And Magic just wasn't able to get the fights there that he needed to and the trades.